Tom Izzo, head coach of Michigan State. The Spartans. Go Sparty! And Tom joins us now. How's the voice, Coach?
It's great, Dan. How's yours?
Mine's great. Mine's never felt better, sounded better. It's velvety. What did you do?
Do you get a lot of sleep?
Yeah.
That's the only reason mine goes. I don't, I got a job that I don't get as much sleep, so that's the only reason mine goes.
What keeps you up at night?
Texas Tech. Media.
In that order?
Those three.
Yeah.
Those three keep me up. But no, hey, I swear to God, this has been a year where not a lot of those things keep me up. I just have a lot on my mind because you don't get these opportunities that often, we've got a good team. It's not the most talented team that you've seen us have, but we got a heck of a quarterback, and we got some guys that have bought in, and we're a very connected team. We're pretty good in all areas: offense, defense, rebounding. The problem is we're going to play a team that's elite in one area, and that's their defensive area, and improving much on the offensive side.
If somebody hadn't seen Cassius Winston play, how would you describe him?
I describe him as going to church and lining a bunch of people up and saying, "Oh, that guy's in the choir."
Really?
He's 6 foot. I don't know what he weighs, but he's not an imposing-looking guy. He doesn't have incredible speed. He has a very high basketball IQ. He has the herky-jerky kind of, as good with his left hand as with his right hand, which makes him a little quicker than he actually is because he can go either way. You can't force him one way or the other. He likes to go both ways, and he's just a guy that really sees the court and can score the ball. There's not many people that I've had here. Scott Skiles was one as an assistant here who could score it and pass it together. Some point guards are scoring point guards. Some are just passing point guards. There are very few that can do both.
When's the last time you prepared for a player that had anywhere near the talent of Zion Williamson?
Never. You know what? He really did impress me. I think one thing that happened in that game was really impressive. Kenny Goins took a shot from the top of the key kind of late in the game that Zion blocked. The problem is Zion was under the basket when he left, and I told Kenny at the time, I said, "Why don't you pump fake him, get a foul on him?" He looks at me and says, "Coach, he was 15 feet away." And I couldn't even argue with him. I said, "Oh, good point." So the next time, the reason we got him the shot is we screened Zion because he's a guy, Dan, that I think was great for college basketball because when you got there with him, not only did he play with so much energy, passion, but he had some fight in him, man. He was good defensively, good offensively. He was a star. Maybe the star of all stars. He's got to work on some things to get better for the next level. But I'll tell you what, his motor is great, and he seemed to be an incredible teammate, not selfish. I enjoyed playing against him. I didn't enjoy preparing for him, but when you got on the floor, you just kind of appreciated all he brings to the game.
Tougher to prepare for a great defensive team or a great offensive team?
Well, now I'm going to say that I'm going to change it now. It was tougher to prepare for a great offensive team, but now this defensive team, because I've said this to my players for 100 years. Every year I get together and I find out who won the national championship in football, and who won in the world championship in football, and who won it in basketball, and who won it in hockey, and who won it in baseball. And it's always the same, the best defensive teams. Even the Warriors, everybody talks about their offense. They were the best defensive teams. If you look at football every year, the teams that have the best defense wins. If you look at Alabama and Clemson, the teams with the best defense wins. And even in hockey and baseball, it's the pitcher, it's the goalie. And so I guess I'd say that it's worse to prepare for great defensive teams than offensive teams.
But also trying to recruit defense. How hard is it to
Impossible.
Yeah.
It's impossible. I've recruited about 3 players here that I recruited strictly. A kid named Travis Walton. I said, we need a tough lockdown guy, but you don't normally do that. Those aren't the McDonald's All-Americans. Hell, those guys aren't even the Burger King All-Americans. They're just kind of down the list, and yet, in saying all that, I had a kid, Gary Harris, a couple of years ago that was a great two-way player. He was a scorer that could guard. That's almost illegal in our country, to be able to do both. Unfortunately for me, Culver is 6'6", and he's a scorer that can guard, and that's why he is a top-notch, maybe draft pick. So when you can do both, that's really special.
Well, great run. I've got you winning it all, so don't screw up my bracket, okay?
Oh, that's pressure I don't need. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, now the pressure's on.
When you have Chris on later on, you'll tell him that. And Tony, you'll tell. One thing about you, you're versatile.
No, Coach, I did
the punches.
I did one bracket, and I picked you guys to win.
Well, I love you for that, Dan, and it's been fun being on the show all these years, and hopefully. Maybe if we do, we can be on the show and have a relaxing, fun moment. How's that?
Actually, I wrote Michigan, but my intern, Mario, he put down Michigan State. So
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Because I'd known you well enough.
Thank you, Coach.
Did you have the Flyers in there, too?
No, I did not have Dayton Flyers in there.
All right. Well, we'll get them in there. And thanks, Dan. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Coach. That's Tom Izzo.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.